Hello everyone, this is Rosemarie. I work for Mesa County Libraries in the Youth Services Department. We are here today to do early literacy boredom busters. So what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to make Play-Doh. Play-Doh is an awesome thing, and what these do, the early literacy boredom busters, are just activities that you can do at home with your children that help promote learning. And early literacy learning is especially for what we can do to get them ready when it's time to go to school. So for Play-Doh, I already made a few here. We have a red one. It's squishy, it's fun, it's awesome. The best part about Play-Doh, especially if you don't have any at home and you're ready and you want to make it at home, it's really easy. There's so many different types of recipes that you probably already have all of the ingredients in your pantry. So it's super exciting. You can do it at home, especially if you have food coloring. You can do different colors. We have a yellow one, we have a blue one. But the best part about Play-Doh is it has so many learning capabilities. It can help your children in so many different ways, especially in regards to early literacy. It gets their imagination flowing. You can create different shapes if you have cookie cutters, sticks, rocks, forks, knives, anything you want, you can incorporate into play. And play is so important when it comes to learning. So, and not only that, but molding it, playing it with your hands, squeezing it, it develops muscles in your hands. Those are the muscles that your children need for when it is time to go to school. Those are the same muscles they use to hold a pencil and learn how to draw and write and create. So that's so important to play. You get a roll, you get a sculpt, you get a squish, you get a mold, and that is so creative, and creativity is also really important. It's also, in regards to the baking, the making of it at home, it's science. So you are taking water, cream of tartar, flour, salt, and you're turning it into something new. You're creating new shapes. You're adding the food coloring, you're creating different colors, so there's science. The measurement, you have half a cup of salt, you have 1 cup of flour. Those measurements also include math. So you have so many different learning opportunities here, especially once it is made and you're ready to start molding. Have them talk about what they're creating. If you can create a sun, what is that? Is that a sun? You can create so many different things, and have them tell a story. Have them talk about what they're making. It's a great learning opportunity, not only for your children, but for you. Lots of fun can be had here. So let's go ahead and get started. The recipe, we have links online. Our lovely Julia McDonald over at the Colburn branch found us some wonderful links that we will provide for you that includes all of the different types of recipes where you can make Play-Doh at home. So what we're going to do to start is I have my mixing bowl here. I recommend doing this at the stove because you do need hot water. It could be interesting to do like a sensor activity where you see what different creations are, the difference between if you were to do it with hot water or cold water. I know that can be done as well. But I'm going to go ahead and do it with hot water. So I pre-boiled some water on the stove. So we are going to take we're going to measure out a cup of water here. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to measure out a cup. All right. So here's our cup of water. Now we have our half a cup of salt. This is table salt. I tried using the salt I had on hand previously because I only, the salt I had on hand. So I had really big crystal like sea salt. Those were okay, they worked out, but you can still see like the big salt. So I was able to acquire a half a cup of regular salt, so we're going to include that. We have a tablespoon of cream of tartar, so I'm going to include that. We also have a tablespoon of oil, so I'm going to include that. And then I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to stir. Alright, and it looks like everything is pretty combined. Luckily the water's still pretty warm. It's not too warm though, especially if we have little kids. it'll still work with not super warm water. All right, now that that's mixed, I'm going to add in my flour. It could also be fun in regards to science this is a pretty loose recipe, so what does it feel like if you add more flour? What does it feel like if you don't add as much flour? Is it stickier? Is it more wet? Is it easier to play with? If it does need more, like if it is super sticky, yeah, add the extra flour. And then of course, with all things in regards to play, I definitely made sure I washed my hands before, and then after playing with Play-Doh, wash your hands after. All right, so I'm stirring. I'm trying to get rid of all the clumps. This is looking pretty wet, so I might need to add more flour. So that's what we've got so far. All right, I definitely need more flour. So yesterday I used boiling water on the stove to practice. So today, since the water isn't as warm, maybe that could be the difference of why it's not forming. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab some more flour and we're gonna try and make this moldable. All right. So here we have more flour. Let's use this guy. And I'm just going to add a little bit at a time until I get it the right consistency that I want. There we go. A little bit more. The recipe also calls for, you can add in whatever food coloring you want while you're mixing it. That's the not messy option. With one recipe, however, it made these 3 different balls. So I included the food coloring after. I just, happened to get food coloring all over my hands. But the food coloring did wash off within a day, so it's not the worst thing. Still super sticky. Some more flour. We're going to just give it some more stir. And once it gets a little bit harder, get your hands in there. Learn how it feels. There we go. Make a mess. I am making so much of a mess. There we go. That feels so much better. I might add just a little bit more. There we go. And now I think I'm at a point where I can put my spoon down and just start molding it and playing with it. So here we have our big giant ball of dough. Just going to keep pressing it in there. Okay, and then now what I'm going to do, since I have my big giant ball, some of this stuff over. I'm going going to get one of my bowls out. I got 3 different colors. I have purple and green and pink for my food coloring. And I am going to take a wad. Okay, so we have a big ball right here. It feels good. It doesn't feel sticky. It's not sticking on my hands. I can definitely mold it, squish it, roll it. And let's do green. So I learned yesterday when I added the food coloring to this was maybe make like a little bowl shape to put your food coloring in that way. Because like I said before, if you add in the food coloring while you're stirring on the stove, a lot less mess. So grown-ups at home, I guess it depends on how much of a mess you want, but I made the little bowl. I added the color in that little bowl and I'm just squishing it in on itself in hopes that I get less on my fingers today. And I'm just going to keep squishing and squishing and mixing and playing and talking about what I'm doing, because it's so important to just talk, especially since we're at home. We're not getting as much social interaction. So while we're doing an activity like this, oh, see, there's the food coloring all over my hands. Such a cool green color. And then how much food coloring are you adding? What kind of green do you want? That's a great little experiment too. So I'm going to add more. I want more green. All right, that should be good. And again, I made the little hole, little bowl, added the coloring, and I'm just going to squish it in. Whoa. All right, and now I'm just going to keep squishing. I think at this point, if you do choose to add in the food coloring at this step, there is no choice but to get food coloring on your hands, and that's okay. All right. Get a little bit more. It is springtime, so maybe a nice little pastel green would be kind of cool. What kind of colors are we going to work with? But I think this is so much fun. And not only that, but a great learning activity, since kids are getting so much screen time nowadays. Might be a fun learning experience that doesn't involve the screen. All right, so we mixed it, we did the recipe with the start, middle, and now we are at the end where we have our big pile of Play-Doh. We have a big old ball right here too, so we can add more colors. Creates a lot. The cool thing about the cream of tartar is that is the part of the ingredients that helps make it last. So when you're done playing, you washed your hands, you're ready to be done, just put it in an airtight container. I have Ziploc bags here. Maybe some Tupperware would be good, but the recipes say Ziploc bags are the best option. So, and they should last up to 6 months. So, at home Play-Doh, early literacy, boredom busters to help get your children ready for all of the learning ahead of them. So thank you for joining me today. Again, my name is Rosemarie. I'm with Youth Services at the Mesa County Libraries. Don't forget to go to our website, go to Facebook, Instagram. You can see our calendar we have tons of virtual events online. Kids Read, where you can log in, talk about books that your kids are reading. We have Teen Readers Meetup. We also have ABC Mouse, which is an awesome at-home learning tool that you can use. It used to only be able to be used in the library, but now we have access to it at home. So there is a PDF link that you can click when you find ABC Mouse on our website. That PDF will tell you how to log in online and get that free access at home. We have Canopy at home in regards to streaming movies. We have Libby, where you can download ebooks, audiobooks. We even have adult programming. So go to our calendar. There's links where you can join in on those live sessions. We are here for you. We hope you're all doing okay. Please stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you all so much.